Good evening, everybody. My name is Andre. I am a Black American with pride. I'm an organizer, but I'm also a candidate for state representative in this upcoming election later this year. If I can, I just want to talk a little bit about my grandmother, tell you a little story. Growing up, there was two fond memories that I have, right? First memory is the talk. My grandmother telling me how to successfully escape a interaction with a police officer as a young black man, or holding my hand and walking 2 blocks to our local polling location as we exercise our right to vote. You know, what I would later find out in life is that the folks that we vote for would not always advocate for a person like me. Some of them would talk about criminal justice and talk about racism and my blackness. Sometimes they would talk about education, out of time school activity in my youth. But what about the other part of me, the gay me? You know, I sometimes thought that my grandmother didn't understand the decision that I had to make. Until 2008, when my grandmother initially wanted to vote for the woman candidate, Hillary Clinton, for president, over the black candidate, Barack Obama. But I heard her frustration in the House, ultimately siding the vote for Barack Obama. MLK, the hero, the myth, the legend that I always was taught about as a child. I would watch over 60 documentaries about MLK, but none of them ever mentioned until 30 years later a person named Bayard Rustin, a black queer man who was the architect of the civil rights movement. It's okay to clap. You know, it was a black queer man who was given a job to put together the March on Washington, although Dr. King's speech did not talk about not being judged for your sexual orientation, but I guess that was a part of the context of character, right? You know, but the thing about King, he was fantastic. He fitted the bill that us as black Americans wanted white America to see. A black man with a black family that stayed together. But queer people, we have families too. As much as they try to erase us and act like we don't exist, we're here. You know, when queer people tried to lead marches, they canceled the protests. You know, when queer people tried to start a family, they banned IVF. You know, when queer people would go into businesses, our Supreme Court said it was okay to deny them based off their sexual orientation. When queer people try to say I do to the person that they love, this country said that that was impossible. So we hide. And that's what we do as our defense mechanism. But you know, my grandmother taught me at a very young age that two things can be possible at the very same time. You know, black history is queer history, and queer history is black history. And sometimes history has taught me that we have to get in trouble. So I want to shout out congressional member, late member John Lewis, who talked about good trouble. You know, I want to say thank you to Bayard Rustin, who made it possible for my grandmother to exercise her right to vote. I want to thank my grandmother for teaching me how to utilize the tool. And because of these people, we have an opportunity to make history in November to elect me as the second openly black gay state rep of Pennsylvania. So I just want to say thank you.